20 kilometers. According to observers, that's how far the furthest Israeli army troops are expected to be from the Syrian capital. A week ago, Israeli troops occupied the Golan Heights and the buffer zone. However, they didn't stop there. The army moved deeper into Syria. We will quickly put up a fence. We will guarantee protection and stop the growth of the tentacles of the Iranian octopus here in this place before they even start growing. This is nothing more than taking advantage of the chaos caused by the rebellion. There is basically no resistance in the areas occupied by Israel. The localities are mostly depopulated and without regional government. Alongside this, Israel is bombing military installations, warehouses, and airports throughout Syria.
Israel says the move is to protect its territory from the spillover of the chaos in Syria, but also says it's trying to prevent the insurgents in Syria from laying their hands on the military facilities and weapons in Syria.
The action targets Israel's main opponent. In Tehran, the narrative regarding, from their perspective, the catastrophe in Syria is clear, of course. There should be no doubt that what happened in Syria is the result of a joint American and Zionist plan. For Israel, the offensive along the Syrian border is a major opportunity to cut off terrorist groups in Lebanon and Gaza from Iranian arms supplies. The main supply routes ran right through Syria. Israel is also trying to persuade Iranians to an uprising in their own country.
You know what this regime is truly terrified of? It's terrified of you, the people of Iran. And one day, I know that, one day this will change. One day Iran will be free.
It seems that such a possibility is being carefully examined not only by Israel, but also by the Americans. Given the near simultaneous visits to the Middle East by the U.S. National Security Advisor and the Secretary of State, it is clear that Washington also wants to seize the moment.
The balance of power in the Middle East has changed significantly, and not in the way that Sinwar or Nasrallah or Iran had planned. We are now faced with a dramatically reshaped Middle East in which Israel is stronger, Iran is weaker, its proxies decimated.
The problem is that the new rebel leadership in Syria does not necessarily want to fraternize with Israel or the United States. Many of the rebellion's leaders see the West as a bigger enemy than the very regime they had just overthrown. As experts point out, the potential threat from the new authorities in Damascus is far greater than that of the Assad regime. This does not mean at all that there will be no further negative consequences resulting from the Syrian turbulence for Europe or the United States, in the form of, for example, further waves of illegal immigration or terrorist activities. Why, then, is there so much optimism precisely coming from Western leaders? It's primarily a matter of challenging the status quo around Syria, which under the Assad regime guaranteed influence to be shared between Moscow and Tehran. Whatever course the rebels take, it will be far from a strategic partnership with Washington's main adversaries.